philosophy as it were, but was to get a P, H and a D, where the P was passion. So get passionate about what you want to do. And I think that's an extremely important one. Most of us spend our lives doing stuff we're not passionate about. And then that happens, success is probably going to be elusive. So be passionate, whatever it is. And this is not to suggest, therefore, I'm passionate about sitting and dreaming at home, so I'll keep doing that all day long. That's not a great idea. It's about doing something worthwhile and being passionate about it. The second, I think, the H was hunger. The need to be hungry, right? And I think a lot of people today have the ability, have the dream, but don't have the hunger. And I think you need to want it badly for it to happen. And no one else can want it for you, right? You've got to be hungry for it. You've got to be hungry. It's that story of Socrates, somebody said, what's the secret of life? Pushes him into the water. And they first struggles for air and is desperate. And when he finally gets off and breaks free, he says, you almost killed me. He says, yeah. When you want an answer to that question as badly as you wanted the air, that's when you will learn what's the secret to success in life. So I think you need hunger. And the D, the third one, was really discipline. And I think, again, many of us like all this nice stuff, but there's an entire industry called fitness which makes its money out of indiscipline. Everybody signs up, right? And no one goes after that. For the rest of the year, no one's going back to the gym, right? So discipline is extremely important. So staying with it. There's a good story of an Olympic gold medalist who said, someone asked her, what made you successful? And she said, very simple. I practiced when I felt like it. And I practiced when I didn't feel like it. So I think it's important. The second bit is extremely important. Most of us are very good at the first half. I work hard, 3-4 hours in a week. Yeah, that's not working hard. Working hard is when you really push yourself to do a whole lot more. And I think that was the PhD then. Thanks.
I think just one or two last questions, please.
So you said you should be focusing only on the one rabbit, right? But many a times, any practical suggestions on finding the right rabbit? Because many a times you get confused around, you try with something, then move on to something else. What would you suggest for someone who is just starting up and looking for the right rabbit?
Good question. So I think finding the rabbit is really about finding that mountain. It's about finding what is it that will give you the most happiness. What is it that you think you're uniquely qualified to do? And sometimes that answer can come out of experience. It can come out of mistakes. It can come out of advisors, mentors, other people telling you what that rabbit might be. So finding the rabbit is, I think, an extremely difficult and an important one, because like somebody said, you can spend a lifetime learning to fish, and when you catch a fish, you say, no, I'm vegetarian. So what is the big idea? So I think it's important that you don't spend your lifetime chasing a rabbit, which when you catch, you say, acha, yeah. This is not what you wanted in life. The message out of not changing your rabbit really is to say that if you waver once you've identified your rabbit, right, stay focused on it. If you're not focused, you will keep, at the first hint of pressure, you will give up on the idea and go after something else. And that will mean that you will never really achieve anything substantial. Yeah? But I think finding a mountain is probably the first big job that we all have.
I think this has been a very interesting session. So I'll tell Mr. Sameer to proceed ahead, Sandeep, for the summary part, Mr. Prakash.
So I just take a minute, I think, and I just want to leave you with one last line, which is, again, as it happens from Michelangelo. Yeah? And we started by talking about kites. Just remember this, yeah? The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it's too low and we reach it. Okay? So don't be scared to aim high. Dream big. Aim high. And as they say, keep winning. Thank you very much. You've been a great audience.
So I'm supposed to propose a vote of thanks and do a couple of more things. very frankly, sir, never heard a more inspiring speaker, never heard a more humble speaker ever in my lifetime. I've read a lot of books, but I don't think that any book would. I mean, I have not read yours so far. I will buy it and pick it and read it. So far, what I've got from the book is that if there was one single book which would be almost like a textbook for life. People say that there is no textbook for life. You live life, and this one would be one of them. Thank you very much for coming here, taking the time out, sharing your experiences. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
In terms of takeaways that I personally took, and I'm sure all of you would have taken, almost the entire list of starting absolutely in a very humble environment, flying a kite in Jaipur, working in the market as a management trainee, and rising the corporate ladder. The examples of specifically of cricket and TiE Handi and the lessons that you shared with us were absolutely phenomenal. They were bang on target. We used to look at the cricket match and the TiE Handi is happening all around us. We did not take those lessons. Thanks for opening up that Pandora's box. I'm going to pick up one of those lines from your book itself, which was on the cover. Inspire, motivate, and unleash the winner within. I think the example of Michelangelo was absolutely amazing. We would have all looked at that picture and admired it. But I think the chisel and the importance of mentors and friends and family and parents, etc., really puts it in perspective. So those were some of my personal takeaways. Okay, now going on to the vote of thanks for starting with Mr. Prakash Iyer to come here, take the time out. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I think we all need to give him a loud round of applause. While he's standing, can I ask Mr. Uday Kothari to hand over a memento? So that brings me to the last part of my task here, is to first of all thank Colonel Anil Kadam to introduce the guest of today, to Sheetal Khurana to introduce the guest, to S.L. Kirloskar Chair, University of Pune, to sponsor this hall. This book, I'm told, is available outside. There's a 15% discount, and there is an autograph that anybody who buys that book will get from the author himself. Thanks a million for all of you to come here. We from TiE, we are doing it for you. Hope you have takeaways, and please do keep coming back. Before I forget, there's on font 72, there's something written here by Namita which says, please fill up your feedback forms and hand them over to Namita before you go out of this room.
They're not allowed.
And do become members, because there are lots of benefits, there are lots of events that we all put together. If that's it, thank you very much.